Hi, welcome to Slow English with Brian. I'm Brian. In this video, we are going to talk about how to get better at speaking and why some people feel like they can't get better at speaking and how to fix that problem. When I taught English in the capital of Vietnam, I taught speaking a lot. I taught speaking to young children and adults who had careers. I taught speaking to people who could speak just a little bit and people who spoke so well that they sounded almost like native English speakers. They told me many things about how they practice and how they struggled, the things that made them feel like speaking was not easy. Among all my students who spoke very well, they all did one thing in particular. They spoke a lot. All of my students who could speak quickly and clearly and correctly with good grammar used their English almost every day. Also, most of my students who could not speak very well, maybe they had bad pronunciation or bad grammar or very small vocabularies, they all did not speak English every day. That is the number one thing that I saw. And now that I teach with my wife in my wife's hometown, I see the same thing. My best students practice their speaking a lot. And my worst students are a little bit lazy and they don't like to practice. Now, some of you might be thinking something like this. I live in a country where people don't speak English very much. What can I do? Well, I have some ideas. First, there is something called shadowing. That means that you watch a video on YouTube like me, or a movie, or a TV show, something where someone is speaking English, and you listen to what they are saying, pause the video or the movie or the show, and then repeat it. Try to say it slowly when you start, and then when you get faster, you can speak more quickly. So try to copy their speed. You can also copy their pronunciation. This takes a long time, and I want to help with that too with these videos, but copying pronunciation is really, really important. You will also learn new words that you will practice saying when you copy them. Shadowing is a very useful skill, especially if you live in a place where people don't use English very much. Shadowing is very good for practicing English. It is called shadowing because you are using your mouth to copy another person's mouth. Just like the shadow of my hand down here follows my real hand. Your mouth is like the shadow of the other person's mouth. Next, you can use technology to help you. I am learning Vietnamese because I live in Vietnam with my Vietnamese wife in my Vietnamese wife's hometown. Here, almost no one speaks English, so I need to learn Vietnamese. So, When I want to practice, I use my phone. Different phones have different ways of doing this, but on my phone, I go to type a message and click a little button that looks like this. I push that button and then speak into my phone in Vietnamese, and it writes what it hears me saying. You can do the same thing in English. You can turn the speaking mode on like I do, speak English, and then see if the phone can understand you. If it can, you are probably speaking with pretty good pronunciation. If it does not understand some of the words that you are saying, you can listen to native English speakers saying those words on YouTube or in movies, and then practice, and then try to speak with your phone again. That has helped my pronunciation in Vietnamese a lot. I know that it can help you with your English pronunciation. You can also have pretend conversations when you are alone. For instance, when I am hanging the laundry in my house, I sometimes practice my Vietnamese speaking by having imaginary conversations. Even if I am saying simple words, I am still making my mouth move in a Vietnamese way. That is like exercising my mouth and my brain. You can do the same thing. You can have imaginary conversations when you are hanging laundry, like me, or walking to school, or riding your bike, or driving your car. Also, you can try to become a friend of a native English speaker if they live in your country. But be careful. If you go up to them and say, "Teach me English, teach me English, teach me," that is a little bit scary. So you should be friendly and nice and try to have a real friendship. Speaking with a real person can really help you to get better at speaking because you are really practicing your speaking skills. You can find people like that in your workplace if you are an adult, or maybe your university if you are a student. And if you live near a tourist area, you can find native English speakers there. But again, don't run up to them and demand to speak in English. You have to be calm and polite. The most important thing to remember is that speaking is like bodybuilding. It does not happen quickly. You need two things to be a bodybuilder, and you need the same two things to be a good speaker in any language. First, you need correct knowledge. Bodybuilders like these people know how to exercise the right way. They know what exercises to do, and they know how much weight they need when they do them. In the same way, you need to know correct pronunciation, correct grammar, and a good amount of vocabulary if you want to practice your speaking well. Also, just like the bodybuilders, you will need a lot of time to practice speaking before you get better. Bodybuilders don't get big muscles quickly. It's a slow process. It takes many years. In the same way, you will need many years to get better at speaking. It's not fast. It's slow. No matter what, don't give up. You can do it. You just need the correct knowledge. You can get that from schools and textbooks and time to practice. You need a lot of time. That is the end of this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.